What's up guys, today we're going to be trying to make a chrome skull because I think my Terminate went really well, so I thought I want to go for an entire object, and I've gone ahead, and this is the same skull that I had in my sealing and filling video, or adding weight video, and yeah, I'm just going to, it's the first time I've actually done an entire object as opposed to just a little bit part of an object, so it actually took me quite a while to spray all that, and yeah, I had to obviously hold it somewhere while I was doing it, so I was holding it like that, and that's why the front isn't done. So I'm just going to go ahead and spray that part now, and I stupidly was keeping on putting it down there, and I just realised I've got a little a bump there, but I'm going to try and polish that out later, so I'm not actually too bothered about that, because I ordered myself some of this ultra fine sandpaper. This is like 12,000 grit, so I'm going to see if I can even improve on the gloss of the paint. So that's going to be my mission today, how to get this as glossiest as possible with the paint and the sandpaper. I've got a couple of other paints on the go, so I might try those out later, but for this video we're sticking with the Alclad Black Gloss base paint, and that's going directly over the white washable. This is water soluble, water washable resin, by the way. This one is obviously great ABS like the Terminator one, so seems to go on alright, so I'm just going to go off and spray the front now. See you in a bit. I'd also like to add, I was holding it a lot in my hands, and yeah, it's kind of, I think I'm putting fingerprints and oil has come off onto there, so try and avoid that. Just learn to hold everything with gloves as you're going along, because you're just going to end up marking it, and if you're going to add this Alclad layer over it, then that's going to go over the marks that you've added to it, and you're not going to be able to get rid of them then. So keep it as mint condition as you can, and then whatever damage happens afterwards happens, but while you're doing it, try and keep it perfect. Alright, now I'm off to paint. Alright, that's done now. I did put a little too much in, where was it, on this side here, I think. Where was it? Yeah, on this side here by the drawer, I think it went a bit heavy, but either way, all you're after are these hyper gloss lines. This looks ultra glossy, so I'm sure it's going to come out fine. So there you go. I'm just going to leave this for another, whatever, 15 hours or whatever, probably above my fireplace, and let it cure, and then we'll come back and see how we can polish it up to kind of, I have been touching it a lot here, as you can see. It's kind of maybe lost some of that luster, so I'm going to try and buff that out again, because I've put on about, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 coats I think, but all at the same time, so probably just one ultra thick coat. I'm just going to leave that there. I'll take it downstairs, put it by my fireplace in a minute, because I'm going to light that up, and it's going to get nice and hot and keep the room really humidity free. Alright, see you in a bit when it's all dry, and then we're going to see what we can do with it. Alright, so while that one's just drying up, I just thought I'd show you, like, these go as fine as 12,000 sandpapers, and the top one is, I think, 1,500. So basically you're expected to go through them and eventually hit the last one, but to be honest with you, we're not going to need to go through all of them. That's just such a waste of time in my opinion. We might hit it, because as soon as you start hitting with these rough ones, you're immediately going to destroy that. So instead I'm going to try and hit it with probably the last few, maybe from, I don't know, maybe 3,200 onwards, because otherwise you're just putting yourself in for more work. Now, as you can probably see, I've done it to my thumb here already, so if you want a direct comparison, so yeah, look at the kind of reflection line in the thumb there, and then look at this one here. So that's that one, and that's that one. So this is what women go through when they kind of do their nails, I guess, if they do them on their real nails. Otherwise you could buy fake plastic ones, but that's what it looks like here. What we're going to do now is we're going to try and polish them off, because here I was kind of touching it up with my hands during the curing stage, and yeah, obviously look at it now compared to like something like that, super shiny there. So we're going to see if running some paper over it is going to do any good. See if I can bring that luster back. Alright, I've just put my ISO up to about 1,000. Hopefully that should be alright. I don't want to go too much. So yeah, I'm going to just look at all this weird patination here, see if I can do anything about it. So I'm going to try the 8,000 one first. Some regular cotton pads here. So I'm just going to put that behind it, because you're not meant to like directly with your finger apply it. You put too much pressure and fill the gaps too much, so you're meant to put it behind something like that, some padding. and then that way I've got a bit of a cushion, so it's not having too much weight, or they say use foam or whatever. You have something in between it, just so that the actual foam doesn't have too much pressure going down on it in one spot. So let's have a look at what this place looks here. Straight away you've got some business going on here. Now it looks like it's just made it worse, in fact. Interesting there, see? Alright, so after a bit of messing around with the sandpaper and stuff, I realised it's pretty much going to be a no-go. I've gone over the whole thing with the mask, just polished it all up, and it's actually not too bad, as you can see there. And it looks kind of glossy. So I'm just going to go and spray that with the Alclad Chrome. I wouldn't bother trying to sand that. You can use the mask because this fabric is really soft and non-destructive. It doesn't actually scratch, even though it scratches your face a bit, but it's really good for this kind of semi-wet kind of paint that this Alclad Gloss is, because it doesn't actually seem to harden to like a rock hard surface, which is obviously probably why it looks so nice and wet looks. So yeah, that's I'm going to go now and spray it with the Chrome Alclad, or the Alclad Chrome Lexan, and see how it looks after that. I've given it the best polish up I can with the back of this towel, but these sandpapers are no good in my opinion. These kind of, even the 12,000's no good. Which is no good. I think maybe I was meant to use it with water or anything, but at the end of the day I can't imagine it doing much better, to be honest with you, because it's just started marking it immediately, and this paint actually seems wet. So if it appears wet to the touch, it's not going to sand very well. It has to be bone dry if you're going to sand it. But look at those reflections already. So this sculpt's going to look great. All right, I'm just going to go and spray it up, and we'll be back in a minute. All right, I'm back after spraying it, and as you can see, it's fairly chrome-like. It's pretty good actually. You can obviously see the door in the background. You can see my hand waving stuff about. So it's very mirror-y. But obviously if we do close up, it's not that mirror-y, but it is very mirror-y anyway. I just like to point that out. So yes, it is. That's what it is. That's what it looks like. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. So yeah, that's how it looks all in all. I'll do some close-ups in a minute, but yeah. So overall, it's a success. I would say that this is probably the best you're gonna get it. This is the best that I can get it anyway, with the Alclad paint anyway underneath, because if that goes down real nice, you're going to get this looking real nice. And obviously if you're looking at my fingers, you can count them all, it looks real nice. But obviously if you want an ultra perfect chrome finish, you're going to need to get an absolute mirror-like perfect surface with absolutely no bumps, lumps, nothing. So you zoom into it and you won't even see the detail on it because it'll be flat. That's essentially what you're going for. It does look ultra reflective and super nice, but I just did have a look at my Terminator recently, and he just looks equally nice. I think it looks the same. This one I went a touch less on the old chrome as opposed to this one, which I went a little bit heavier on the chrome. And I think if you go a little bit less and you've got glossier underneath, it comes out much shinier. Mind you, looking at them in the right angle, they look just as good. Don't forget, this one probably has a little bit more darker shades underneath where I didn't quite get as much of the chrome, so it pops a little bit better and stands out. And obviously because it's shiny, it reflects those dark edges and looks great. Generally this one just does look fantastic. And obviously larger areas are much harder to do, and you have to go harder. In some areas you get, it's fucking hard to compare. So here we have my Instagram setup, as you can see, and yeah, you can see how nice and shiny it looks here basically. So it is super shiny. It always looks better in like a studio setting. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and that's Alclad Chrome Lexan for you. Alright, peace, see you later.